book club. King Fyz Perspective book, ebook, and audio book available now. Make sure you check it out. Make sure you Google Fyz Perspective or King Fyz Perspective. You'll get access to all of my Instagram and things like that. But let's give a shout out to the sponsors. This episode is sponsored by Red Snappers Draws, the new fragrance that will be releasing February 1st. It's going to be a big release party in Philly. So if you out there, go ahead, make sure you check it out. Go ahead and follow Red Snapper with 3 R's if you want more information about that. Also sponsored by Hoe Clothing, HOE Clothing on Instagram. Make sure you check that out. And last but not least, Fyz Fruits. Feed your zenith fruits. We make custom fruit mixes, detoxes, pretty much a little bit of everything. Oh, I almost forgot Uptown Mobile. If it ain't uptown, it ain't clean. Damn, I burping like a motherfucker, excuse me. I apologize. But without further ado, let's get here and talk about the reason why you're here. So right now we're going to talk about the King Fyz Perspective #1 Life Guide Workbook. We're going to go through it. We're going to go to page 98. Let's see. 98. And we are going to read from page 98. If you got the book, thanks for supporting and everything. But here we go. We got sex ed, masculine versus feminine energy. How do you relate to the description that men are like dogs and women are like cats? Do you agree with that or disagree? You will write that down. And inside the book is questions, and then you'll have the affirmations or positive thing to keep you on track. And then the following page has where you can fill out and give the answers. So you'll have a whole book that you'll write to guide your own life with inside of this book. So it's like a therapist in a book. I need to get some water. I'm gonna get some water in a second though. But have you have you seen these dynamics in your relationship? Have you seen the men behaving like cats, or women behaving like cats and men behaving like dogs, or not? One of the action steps in it is to write down 3 ways you can better understand or respect the opposite sex. So you can write that down. That will help you have some appreciation for the other sex. Now we'll get into the affirmation or the positive quote side. Try to listen without fixing. Try to listen to what someone is talking about without attempting to fix it, because a lot of times we spend time trying to fix things that nobody asked to fix, or feeling some type of way about something that nobody asked you. So if you do something for somebody and they never asked you to do it, then you can't be mad if they don't respond the way that you thought that they should respond. So make sure you wait until somebody asks you for something, and do something for somebody because you want to do it. Don't do it because you want a particular outcome, because you may not get it and you'll be disappointed. Practice holding space instead of offering solutions. Respect people's space and stop taking distance or space as a sign of disrespect or being offended by it, because people just need space. It may not be personal. They may just need some time to themselves. Understand that people need times to themselves. That's how the person becomes interesting. So let them go off and become interesting for you, because that's how they got interested in going to do some stuff that you wasn't there to see, so they can come back and tell you. So let them get some space. Let them breathe a little bit. Figure out how they give and receive energy. Is it more emotional or more direct? Study that communication and get better results from your request. So if you're talking to somebody and it seems like if I ask you a question, you say no, but if I tell you what to do, you do it, then you know that's how you communicate with that individual. So you want to make sure you're paying attention to people's responses when you're talking to people, so that you won't be wasting your breath or your time. Now we are on page 101. Confidence and intimacy. What does confidence in the bedroom mean to you? You would answer that question. If you feel free to pop an answer in there as I'm going through these questions. How do you want to feel and your partner to feel during intimacy? So you would ask that question. Then we have the action steps. Create a confident list. List 3 things that would better your love life, emotional, mentally, and physically. So you write 3 things that'll help you do, better in the bedroom. What mean? I missed that. Um, yeah, what does what mean? You get it right. You all right? All right. My bad. I'm simul streaming. All right. So now we on the Oh, nah. What I'm saying is basically, I was basically running through the questions of the book, the King Fyz Perspective #1 Life Guide Workbook. And basically, in the workbook, we go through questions, and I'm basically asking questions that you may or may not have asked yourself that will help you self improve. And inside the book, is also pages you can fill it out. So once you fill it out, you'll be done and you'll write a book within the book and you'll have a whole book and guide in your life. Also, the benefit of it is once you fill this out and do it, you would have written your own personal book inside of the book. So you could actually write it and publish your own book outside of what you created from this book. Yeah, so, confidence in the bed. I was saying, what does confidence in the bedroom mean to you was one of the questions. And I was also asking about pretty much having you write down um, mental, emotional, and physical things that you can do to improve or be better in the bedroom. And right here, we're going on the practical side of things. So take practical actions to build confidence and connection. Work on communicating boundaries, learning about your partner's preferences, practicing body positivity. Approach intimacy mindfully and intentionally. Being a better lover is about more than just physical performance. It's about including the emotional presence and mental well-being. So you want to make sure that you actually engage in with your mate and make sure that you take the time to see how they feeling and get them relaxed. Because honestly, the more relaxed you can get a female, the closer you are to getting to where you're trying to get to. So if you get her in the comfort zone, that's plus for you. So definitely you want to shoot for that. And same for females as well. The more relaxed somebody is, the more likely they are to do whatever it is that you want them to do. So you're going to want to get them nice and comfortable. All right, so now we on page 105. Touch, tease, and control. Describe a time when foreplay or teasing made an intimate experience better. So you, of course, you would answer that. How can you improve in areas like pacing, patience, and building tension? So how would you build tension and create the sexual tension in a relationship? Identify your partner's top 3 pleasure zones and brainstorm non-sexual ways to actively be intimate with them without touching. Importance of anticipation and build-up in sexual connection. Work on anticipation and building your sexual connection without penetration or genital touch. Understand that play can create deep emotional connections and a more intense pleasure. Learn what excites your partner. That helps you refine what works best. Don't rush intimacy. Learn the power of the slow buildup. Develop emotional and physical self-control. Pleasure is a journey, emphasizing the experience rather than the performance. Thoughtful touches, words, or actions of service. Physical and emotional activities go a long way. So basically in there, I'm just trying to break down that it's better to Keep the top on the marker as long as possible. You know how you have a marker, if you leave the top off too long, it dries out. The longer you keep the top on, the wetter it gets. That's the same situation. So keep her top on as long as you possibly can. And when you take it off, it'll be nice and wet and ready to go. Just a little tip so you know, so you know, so you know. Now we go on page 109, and 109 is the last page we going to do today. Well, 110 of course, but we're gonna go through this last question. If y'all got any comments or whatever, make sure you throw them in there or say what you gotta say, because the engagement will elongate this conversation. Self-mastery and sexual control. Have you ever had trouble controlling your excitement? You ever had a moment where you just couldn't seem to control yourself and let it go too early? You write that down. That's one of the questions. And then, how did it affect your moment? Like, how did it affect you psychologically? Did it make you feel worse? Did it ruin the mood, or what did it do? Why is self-control important in sex? So you answer, why is it important? Oh, okay, cool. That's what's up. Vans are cool. Action steps. Track your improvement with a 7-day control tracker. Practice releasing control daily. Try a different technique each day. Kegels, breathing, slowing down, etc. So each day you want to, practice. You want to practice and, make sure you get right before you go to the show and go to perform and just go. So make sure you practicing before you get there, because ain't nothing worse than, But I will say, always make sure you handle your business before you go out on the date. Just a little tip that'll help you out a whole lot. You'll be able to focus, because if you filled up, you is not going to be paying attention like you should, and you'll be ignoring all the red flags because you're in thirst mode. So stay away from that. Make sure you're nice and empty, then you can think, and then you'll notice that a lot of stuff that she's saying you don't care about, or it really doesn't matter at all. Is the only reason why you was focused on it, because you was focused on something else. So make sure you clear yourself out so you can focus on what's really going on and not being distracted or get manipulated. That's how you turn into a simp. That's how you turn into a simp, doing stuff like that. All right, so now we're gonna go into the inspirational page. So this is the next page I'm gonna read from. So learn yourself. If you tend to become overstimulated or overwhelmed during intimacy, the lack of control eventually affects the emotional or physical structure of the relationship. So use humor or communication to ease things that didn't go as planned. Recognize that patterns trigger quick arousal or climax to manage your energy and build better connection to prolong your pleasure and pacing. Tending to your partner's needs creates a satisfactory experience for both of you. So don't just make it about you. Make sure you figure out what it is that he or she actually needs out the situation to make it better, because their performance will be even better when you giving them what they need. They're gonna hook you up. Be present, be patient, and be connected. Find out which techniques help you regulate the excitement most. You definitely want to be connected. You want to make sure that y'all on the same vibe, because if y'all not on the same vibe, it's not going to end the way you want it to. Strengthening your muscles help you regulate ejaculation and orgasms. Stimulate yourself about 80 to 90% of climax, and then stop, breathe, and let the arousal completely drop before you start again. Repeat this in 3 cycles. This technique will help you recognize your peak and delay your climaxes, and that will help you be able to have a little more control. You'll know when it's happening, why it's happening, and everything. And that way you won't have slip-ups and hiccups, because you'll know what you're doing. Do 3 sets of 10 reps. Squeeze as if you're trying to stop a urine stream, and then hold for 3 to 5 seconds and then release. This is a male Kegel exercise that will help you strengthen, because a strong pelvic control equals longer stamina and awareness, of course. Rushing leads to quick climax, so pace and build, anticipation and control. So you want to make sure you're taking your time and paying attention to what you're doing while you're doing it, because a lot of people rush into it and have a bad situation. But this has been King Fyz Perspective Epic Book Club, each and every first Wednesday of the month, 9 a.m. and then 6:15 p.m. We will be doing the book club, and I'll be reading through the book, the King Fyz Perspective #1 Life Guide Workbook, and we'll be answering questions. Pretty much the book clubs go as long as the engagement. So if it's high engagement, it goes longer. If not, I'll read through the questions, jump off, and then I'll see y'all next month. But I just want to give a shout out to the sponsors. Red Snapper, and the Red Snapper Draws perfume releases February 1st. Make sure y'all check it out. It's a big release party in Philly. So if y'all want to know more information about that, follow Red Snapper with 4 R's, and you'll get more information about that. Make sure y'all follow Fyz Cast, FYZCAST on Instagram. You'll be able to see everything else I got going on, a little bit of my poetry and stuff like that. Also, check out FYZ Clothing. You can get you a hat, shirts, whatever you want to get. And Fyz Fruits, FYZ Fruits. Feed your Zenith Fruits. FYZ Fruits on Instagram. You can go by there and check it out and see the products and everything. But thank you so much for taking the time out to check me out. And I will see you next time. Thanks again, and enjoy life. Hey, what's going on? What's going on? I'm just finishing up. I'm actually on my way to TikTok. So I'm gonna be on TikTok. So if you're on TikTok, see me there. Fyz Cast, King Fyz Perspective. Check me out on TikTok. I'll see you there. Take care.